Hello everyone, welcome again to my channel. In this video, we will read part 2 of the chapter, The Sound of Music. In this part, we will read about another musical maestro, Ustad Bismillah Khan. Here are some pictures of some well-known musicians of India. There are some names as well. Can you match the names with the musicians? Think of the Shehnai and the first thing you'll probably imagine is a wedding or a similar occasion or function. The next would probably be Ustad Bismillah Khan, the Shehnai maestro playing this instrument. If you have attended any North Indian wedding, you must have seen a very important musical instrument that is played in the weddings. It's Shehnai. Ustad Bismillah Khan made Shehnai famous internationally. He took Shehnai to the classical world stage. Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of a musical instrument called pungi in the royal residence for it had a shrill, unpleasant sound. Shrill means very high-pitched and sharp sound. Pungi became the generic name for reeded noise makers. Generic means a general name, a name given to a class or group as a whole. Reeded means wind instruments which has reed like the flute or the clarinet, an instrument which is hollow. Few had thought that it would one day be revived. A barber of a family of professional musicians who had access to the royal palace decided to improve the tonal quality of the pungi. Pungi was an instrument which was banned by Emperor Aurangzeb in the royal residence because it had unpleasant high-pitched noise, and pungi became a general name for all the instruments which made shrill noises. Few people thought that one day somebody would improve pungi, and a barber who was actually from the family of professional musicians, he decided, and he also had access to royal palace, that means he could go to the royal palace, decided to improve the tone, the quality of tone of pungi. He chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem that was longer and broader than the pungi and made 7 holes on the body of the pipe. When he played on it, closing and opening some of these holes, soft and melodious sounds were produced. He chose a pipe which was naturally hollow, that means which was empty from inside and which was broader and longer than pungi, and he made 7 holes on the body of that pipe, and when he played that instrument, closing and opening those holes, a soft and nice, pleasant sound came. He played the instrument before royalty and everyone was impressed. So when he played that instrument which he had made, everybody was impressed in the royal palace. And the instrument was different from pungi, so it had to be given a new name. And as the story goes, since it was first played in the Shah's chamber and was played by a nai, which is barber in English, the instrument was given the name Shehnai. Shah is emperor. So this instrument was first placed in front of Shah, in front of emperor by a nai, which is Hindi name for barber. Hence the instrument was given the name Shehnai. The sound of Shehnai began to be considered auspicious. It was so sweet and melodious that it began to be considered auspicious, very nice. And for this reason, it is still played in temples and it is an indispensable. Indispensable means something without which the work cannot be done. It is a very important component in North Indian weddings. In the past, Shehnai was a part of the Naubat or traditional ensemble of 9 instruments found at royal courts. Ensembles means things that are considered a group. So in the past, it was one of the 9 instruments which is also called Navratna. 9 instruments found in royal court. And till recently, it was used only in temples and weddings. The credit of bringing the instrument into the classical stage goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. Ustad Bismillah Khan took this instrument on the classical instrument by giving great performances. As a 5-year-old, Bismillah Khan used to play gilli danda near a pond in the ancient state of Dumrao in Bihar. Ancient means old. He used to play gilli danda, which is a game played by small kids. He used to play gilli danda in the old city of Dumrao, which is in Bihar. He would regularly go to the nearby Bihari Ji temple to sing Bhojpuri Chaita. Chaitas are Bhojpuri songs. Bhojpuri is a dialect. It's a form of Hindi. And at the end, he used to earn a big laddu weighing 1.25 kg as a reward, as a prize, which was given by local Maharaja. This incident of playing Gilli Danda and getting laddu, it happened 80 years ago. The story was written, this chapter was written 80 years before this chapter was written. And the little boy had travelled so far, he had won the highest civilian award in India, Bharat Ratna. Bismillah Khan was born on 21st March 1916 to a well-known family of musicians from Bihar. His grandfather was Rasool Bakhsh Khan and he was Shehnai Nawaz of the Bhojpuri King's Court. So he was a Shehnai player in the Bhojpuri King's Court. And his father Paigambar Bakhsh and other paternal ancestors. Paternal means belonging to father's side. They were also great Shehnai players. The young boy took to music early in life. He started learning music at a very early stage in his life. At the age of 3, when his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Banaras, which is now called Varanasi, Bismillah was fascinated watching his uncle practice Shehnai. He was very captivated. He was very interested watching his maternal uncle playing Shehnai. And soon Bismillah started accompanying his uncle Ali Bakhsh to the Vishnu temple of Banaras, where Bakhsh was employed to play the Shehnai. His uncle used to play Shehnai in the Vishnu temple and Bismillah used to accompany him. Ali Bakhsh would play the Shehnai and Bismillah would sit captivated for hours on end. On end means for a very long time without stopping. So while his uncle would play, Bismillah would sit there looking fascinatingly at his uncle for a very long time. And slowly he also started getting lessons in playing the instrument and he would sit practicing throughout the day. For years to come, the temple of Balaji and Mangla Maiya and the banks of Ganga became the young apprentice's favorite haunts, where he could practice in solitude. Solitude means alone. So for years he would sit next to Ganges, next to river Ganga, near temples of Mangla Maiya and Balaji, and he would, apprentice is somebody who is practicing. So he would practice for many hours. The flowing waters of Ganga inspired Bismillah to improvise and invent new tunes, new ragas from his Shehnai, which was earlier considered to be impossible. So the flowing water of the river inspired Bismillah to invent new ragas. At the age of 14, Bismillah accompanied his uncle to the Allahabad Music Conference. He went to Allahabad Music Conference along with his uncle. And at the end of recital, when the playing was done, Ustad Faiz Khan patted at Bismillah's back and said, "Work hard and you shall make it." He advised him to work hard because he must be impressed by his recital, and he said that you will make it, you will become big. And with the opening of All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938 came Bismillah's big break. Bismillah got his first big chance when All India Radio was established in 1938, and soon he became an often heard Shehnai player on the radio. He started playing Shehnai on the radio. When India got independence on 15th August 1947, Bismillah Khan was one of the first Indians to greet the nation with his Shehnai. He played Rag Kafi at Red Fort to the audience, which also included Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. This is where Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru later gave his famous speech, Tirist with Destiny. Bismillah Khan has given many memorable performances both in India and abroad. His first trip abroad was in Afghanistan, where King Zahir Shah was so impressed by the maestro that he gifted him with priceless Persian carpets. Persian carpets are considered very costly and precious. So he gifted him with Persian carpets and other souvenirs. Souvenirs are things which are given in the memory of a place or an event. The King of Afghanistan was not only the one fascinated with Bismillah's music, even Hindi film director Vijay Bhatt was also impressed after hearing Bismillah play at festival. That he was so impressed that he named a film after his instrument. The name of the film was Goonj Uthi Shehnai, and the film was a hit. And one of Bismillah Khan's composition, Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya turned out to be a nationwide chartbuster. Chartbusters means record breaker. The song became very hit, an instant hit. Despite this huge success in the celluloid celluloid is old-fashioned word for films. Bismillah Khan's venture means projects that often involves risk. So despite this success, Bismillah Khan's involvement in film was just limited to 2 movies. One was Hindi movie Goonj Uthi Shehnai and another was Kannada film Sanadhi Apanna. He just says that he could not come to the terms with the artificiality and glamour of the world. He could not be his natural. He could not deal with the artificiality in the glamour world. He says with emphasis. Awards and recognition came thick and fast. Thick and fast means quickly and in great numbers. He was so good at his work that quickly he got so many awards and he got recognition. Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to be invited to perform at the prestigious Lincoln Center Hall in the United States of America. He also took part in the World Exposition in Montreal. Montreal is in Canada, in Cannes Art Festival, and in Osaka. Osaka is in Japan, trade fair. So he did various international performances and brought recognition to our nation. So well known did he become internationally that an auditorium in Tehran was named after him, Tahar Mausiki Ustad Bismillah Khan. So he became so famous that even an auditorium was named after him in Tehran. National awards like Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan and Padma Vibhushan were conferred to him. Conferred means given. So he also got all the national awards. In 2001, Ustad Bismillah Khan got the highest civilian award, the Bharat Ratna. With the coveted award, coveted is much desired, resting on his chest and his eyes glinting with rare happiness, he said. So while taking the award, he felt proud and he said, all I would like to say is, teach your children music. This is Hindustan's richest tradition. Even the West is now coming to learn our music. So he told everyone to teach music to their children and even teach Hindustani music to children. Even West is learning the Hindustani music. In spite of having traveled all over the world, Khan Sahib, as he is fondly called, he is lovingly called Khan Sahib, was exceedingly, he was very much fond of Banaras and Dumrao, and these places remain the most wonderful town for him, in spite of visiting all around the world. A student of his who was in USA once wanted him to head a Shehnai school in USA, and the student promised that he would recreate the atmosphere of Banaras by replicating the temple there, by making the same temple there. He promised that he would create the atmosphere of Banaras. But Khan Sahib refused him by saying that would he be able to transport river Ganga as well. This shows that he couldn't stay away from Banaras. Later he said that while he is in foreign land, he keeps yearning to see Hindustan. Yearning means feeling of intense longing, wanting something. So he said that when he is in foreign country, he keeps missing Hindustan, and while in Mumbai, he only thinks of Banaras and Holy Ganga. And while in Banaras, he misses the unique Mattha of Dumrao. Once an interviewer asked him, when partition happened, didn't you and your family think of moving to Pakistan? On which Bismillah replied, God forbid me leave Banaras? Never. He said that I could never leave Banaras. He said that he went to Pakistan once. He crossed the border, just say hi. Just to say that he had been to Pakistan. He stayed there for about 4 hours. He said namaskar to Pakistani and salam alaikum to Indians. He says it in a good laughter. Ustad Bismillah Khan's life is a perfect example of rich cultural heritage of India. One that effortlessly accepts that a devout Muslim, devout means believing strongly in his religion. A devoted Muslim like him can play very naturally Shehnai every morning at the Kashi Vishwanath temple. He was open-minded and he played music in Kashi Vishwanath temple in spite of being a devoted Muslim. Ustad Bismillah Khan passed away on 21st August 2006 at the age of 90 after a prolonged illness. He was given a state funeral and the government of India declared one day of national mourning. He passed away in 2006 after falling sick for a long time, and he was given a state funeral, and one day national mourning was also declared on his demise.